not even need Bauer's game for me.
Okay, video. And you're in it, Lucy?
Yeah.
Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another episode of Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friend Lucy.
Hey.
And tonight we got a chance to try out Pulsar 2849 from CGE. We played a 4-player game of this. It's 2 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, take about 60 to 100 minutes to play. And I do want to mention that we played it without the advanced variant where you had like an additional little screen because you did not want to play with that. I did.
What?
You did not.
You
were in the right there. You were in the right. So in Pulsar 2849, this is a point salad space exploration kind of game. It's not quite 4X, but you are traveling around the galaxy. You are going to be exploiting like these pulsars and
gaining points through like different means. Essentially, there's like a technology. You have a whole different bits of like ways to get points. You can go through like the technology tree. You can like hunker down on like pulsar points, which are continuous points.
Yeah.
You can do what you did, which was like the whole like the little like sideboards.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to score points.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at the back of the box. I see movement. I see the tech tree. I see the things that I was doing. I think there's probably maybe four different ways to score points in the game, and they all seem pretty viable.
Oh yeah.
It was not a close game at all. We got absolutely crushed.
We were fighting so hard for third.
The bottom 3 people were relatively close.
Yeah.
So let's just get on our thoughts with the game. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. I was excited to play this game because Jimmy really wanted to try it. He did really good things. It's got a Dice Tower gold seal, which obviously means it's probably not going to suck. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy this game. I
liked it a lot too. It's like one of those it's definitely like one of those you can like just pick points anywhere, and like usually like while choices you make won't get you like the best results, you'll never like waste a turn usually.
Yes, that's actually exactly what I was going to say. I always felt like there was a choice out there. There was either, I can get this new persistent special ability, or I can get this one-time scoring thing, or I can start working towards this resistor that's going to start getting me more cubes, or I could just move around the board because, man, moving around the board, it can get you a boatload of points.
Yeah, as we realized, like, late into the game, it's like, oh no.
Yes, Lucy lost by 1 point to me. I mean, I was in third, but it was a strong third.
We fought tooth and nail for third place.
All of us enjoyed the game. I think it took us probably about 2.5 hours, but that was also watching the gameplay video.
Yeah.
I watched the gameplay video. I also read the rules earlier today, and they're well-done rules. I had no issues with the rules. They all made sense. Lots of iconography. I think that's going to be one of the biggest sticking points with this game, and one of the biggest things about recommending this game, because while I did really enjoy this game, I don't necessarily know if I personally am going to keep it. And the biggest reason for me is the 2 to 4 player count. Like, if it had a solo variant, that would really intrigue me because I'm getting more into the solo games. And if it played 5, I think it would definitely be more in my wheelhouse. But at that 2 to 4 player count, there's just so many other games competing for that. And while I really like this game, I think it's a great game.
It is.
I'm to the point now, at least in my, which
collection.
Is saying, I am obviously atypical, where I don't know if I'm going to keep it. But I will say, I'm not just going to get rid of it. I'm going to give it to someone I know who comes to my game night probably. So that way I still have the option at least to...
It's one of those games where it's like, I don't want it in my collection, but I like it in my friend's collection.
I take it all back. That's a lie. I just lied to you.
What?
Because here's the thing. Like, if this game sells well, which I think it probably might, because I think once people play this, they're really going to dig it. I think expansions could completely just blow this game up with potential.
But how would you expand it though? I mean,
more of these, more tiles. Maybe you get a bigger board. Maybe you could get like the expansion could just be like just a wrap. So it would be like you know what I'm talking about, where here's the circle, and then they would just give you a bigger one that would go around the outside.
Oh yeah.
And maybe there could be
like a bit of a table eater. That's the issue. Also, space is going to be an issue.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're playing pretty much I guess it says 60 to 100 minutes. I feel like that's a little bit light. But I guess when you know what you're doing, it was relatively quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I am going to keep this now. I think about it just for the potential for expansions. But I will say, if an expansion doesn't come out for it, I don't think I could see this one hitting the table because, like, I would still rather play Orleans than this.
Oh yeah. I guess my only thing is like with also like the scoring, like you can see like people like just like lead away. And like when you start calculating like bonus points, you can start like, okay, I know I can't even go for first. All I can do is fight tooth and nail for third place.
Well, you also, yeah, I guess it was.
Essentially, like, if you're like different abilities, like that could also just come in because like you could like figure out that you're not gonna win, which can be kind of disappointing.
It can, and
this is a max min game.
Oh yeah, we
At
did
the
not
end
talk
of
about
this,
the potential now. Oh my god,
like,
it could be very.
The more
bad.
you get into this game, the more you start learning it, and like if you and your friends like agree to have like a certain setup, you can just start min maxing, which is a plus or minus for you. It really just depends on your kind of group.
It's
like,
a minus. You shut your mouth. It is such a
some
minus.
people like it.
Who's the person who wants to play with 3 other min maxers? Like who's like, let's all get a min max game going and take 12 minutes between these turns.
Wow.
You know what? I shouldn't say that. There's people who I'm sure
people are into it.
And one thing I do want to say was that what I wasn't just saying that I like Orleans better than this, so I'm not getting rid of it. But I also Zolkin, which we just played last week. I would rather play that than this. I'm thinking of other medium weight Euros, and while I think this is a great game, there's a lot of really great medium weight Euros out there, and maybe this one might necessarily. This is a Euro, right? Yeah, it's a Euro.
For all intents and purposes. It's hard to blur the lines anymore.
Yeah, and the theme.
You're never directing people. The theme.
The theme is
it works. I mean, it gives you that same kind of feel. Like I've played like a couple of these. Like I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of like science fiction type games, like they have like sort of like the same thing. Like with now it just all completely escapes me. Like,
I know what you're saying. Like there's a lot of games that involve mining in the outer
mining
space.
and like going around each different planet, and it fits into that genre. So if you happen to like that genre, I'd definitely say this could add to your collection.
But the theme does not come across. Let's just be frank there. Like you're not like, now I have the turbo thruster, so it's just like, oh cool, now when I hit greens I gotta go 1 extra. Or something like that. But I still think that this is I think it's a great game. I do.
It's a good game. It's a meaty game. This is not a game I would recommend for like people who are just getting into the hobby.
Yes, this is not a gateway game.
This is a game where you are going to buy it like if you already know what kind of style you like and are just exploring that style more.
And I think you do need to be prepared for a lot of the symbology. I think that's one of the highest. I think that's going to be the biggest barriers.
Like that 14 plus, like a lot of the games are just like you can usually like teach like smaller kids and whatnot. This one, like you can understand it. Like there's no advanced reading or anything, but just getting the concepts down of just like building upon and making like a sort of like a mini engine of like how you get the most points to maximize your score.
Yes, and that is one thing that I really do want to highlight. You mentioned the min max, but I'm not joking. Like you play with me a lot. I don't typically get analysis paralysis, but I could have easily got analysis paralysis that last round because you have 2 dice, and realistically you're probably gonna have 3 dice, and each of those dice is gonna be a very distinct action. You're like, all right, if I can move 2 more planets, then I'm gonna be able to get 11 points. But I can put the 6 over here, and that's gonna give me 8 points. Or I could potentially lock up this, which is going to unlock this in-game scoring thing. And if I have enough cubes, I could potentially get the 8-point bonus here, but I'd have to find.
And that's just and that's just for you. Like, what if you also want to prevent points from getting other people? Like, if you can't gain that point, how do you prevent your opponents getting points?
Yes, and then there's the other thing with what we were just saying there too. Whereas your whole plan could be thrown in the loop if someone takes your spot. So all that forward planning could potentially go for naught. I still think this is a great game.
It's a good game. It's really.
You know what? I am leaning towards the very good category with the potential to be great with an expansion. Would you go that far with an expansion?
The thing is, like, I mean, like, you could always be like this. Like, you could add more cards, more abilities, but like, it's already so much, and it's just like I don't know. Just it seems like just throwing confetti onto like a party that's already going on. Like, it already has so much going. I mean, I'm just getting into this game right now. So like, if I got more familiar with it, maybe I'd want something more. But there's already so much, and since I just played it, I'm like, I want to keep on exploring. I want to see like how I could like refine my plan. At this point, I think it's already a lot to get with a package.
I think that's a really solid point.
That's why I don't kind of consider like getting an expansion would improve on it, because like, there's already so much to do.
And I think I think me and Jimmy both come at this slightly different. Yeah. And I honestly think you should be listening to Lucy's opinion a little bit more, because me and Jimmy both watched the How to Play video before, and I read the rules before. So for us, it was clicking a lot quicker. But for you two who did not, and you just watched the Watch It Played once, I think you're right, and I think you're coming at it more from the perspective that most people would. So I would definitely agree with Lucy on that for some reason. Yeah. So there you go. That is Pulsar 2849. I think we both can agree it's a very good game. I think it's a try before you buy, though.
Yeah.
I think it is just on the cusp where I can't say this is spectacular great. It's great. I think it's a try before you buy just because that 2 to 4 player count and just because, as you said, there's lots of moving parts. That's one more thing that I do want to mention. If you play with someone who can get frustrated when the game kind of doesn't hold your hand and tell you which way to go, this is a point salad game, and you're like, do I move? Should I be focused? Like, it's just like, take your damn turn already.
Yeah.
That is Pulsar 2849 from CG, one that is going to be staying on my shelf for the time being, but I think I need a little bit more out of it if it's gonna get the legs. But still, very rock solid game. Oh, yeah. Lots of variability, and like Lucy said, if this is in your wheelhouse, I definitely think that you're gonna enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. It looks like it might be your cup of tea. Be sure to check that one out. If you want to support the channel, consider supporting the Patreon down below or clicking on that subscribe button down below and in the comments below. Let me know, what is your favorite all-time space game ever?
I don't like sci-fi as a genre, to be honest. So you go first.
Oh, mine's super easy. Twilight Imperium 3rd edition.
I was going to say Twilight Imperium as soon as you said it. Dang it.
Yeah, for me, that's like my favorite game of all time. So I hate this question because normally I like to think about them. But I'll go for my second one then. Well, I'll stall for you some time. Star Realms.
Dang it! That's also a good one.
You can say Star Realms. We can have the same one.
Star Realms, or like what's that one dice game, like Cosmic Encounter, the dice version.
Oh yeah, Cosmic Encounter's really good too.
Yeah.
I have that one. Yeah, we should play that sometime. It's a great game. But let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite space game of all time? Also in the comments below, let me know what you think about this quality, because this is the first video we've shot in 4K, 1080 something fancy 1080p. Sauce. So let us know how that looks. Per second. Yeah, is that what it stands for? Yeah, it does. And so please, thanks for your time, YouTube. I forgot FPS stands for that.